I made a video a few weeks back talking about which team should try to go after Kyler Murray, and when I was talking about the Arizona Cardinals, I kind of just dismissed it right off the bat. In fairness, by the time I did make my mock draft, I came around to it and realized that he probably was going to go first overall. However, right when I heard the rumors, it made absolutely no sense to me. I mean, you did just draft a quarterback last year who had a ton of potential in college, although he didn't really exactly have a great rookie season. And while it could be mentioned that I have been a little bit harsh on Murray, not totally harsh, but I have mentioned a few things about him. Not because I don't like him, because I do like him. I think he'll be great. But I did mention that I would take Haskins over Murray, and I did mention that I probably wouldn't have taken him if I'm the Cardinals. However, the Cardinals did take him, and if you're a Cardinals fan, whether you love the pick or not, at this point, he's your guy, so you might as well just hope for the best. And the good news is, this guy is definitely a really talented player, and I'll show you what I mean with this play. As you see on the top half of the screen, it's going to be man coverage, and you can tell that by the way the receiver and cornerback are pretty much all alone on an island way up at the top half of the screen. That receiver will be running a go route in that direction, so basically that's where Murray is going to be looking to throw to at the beginning of the play. But also notice the space that corner is giving. He's not playing press, he's making sure he stays back and making sure that receiver is not going to get by him. So once this play develops, he's going to be far from open at this point. I mean, that corner is a solid 2 yards in front of him. However, if you look right over there, Murray is running out of time. There's lots of pressure coming from that side of the screen, so Murray is going to have to make a throw pretty quickly. Now, one thing Murray knows going into this play is that the receiver is actually going to be cutting a little bit higher to the top of the screen. So this now means that the corner will have to turn his head again, and if the receiver can then turn his head back and make sure he continues to look at Kyler Murray, it could actually be a big gain. But that's a risk at this point, because for all Murray knows, the corner is going to read the play perfectly, and he could easily intercept it up, so it's definitely a risky play for Murray. But Murray is going to decide to sling it there anyways, and it ends up being a catch for a big gain. He ended up giving the receiver a chance to make a play, and that's a great thing for a quarterback. It really is. It's something you like to see, although it's also a problem at the same time. I can make a Jackson Cougar Sports guarantee right now that he will probably throw an interception on a play like that next season. And in fact, if he only throws one interception like that on a play next season, I would be very surprised, because when you're going up against great corners, they don't make those types of mistakes that college corners make. Although, of course, it should be mentioned that you also have an NFL-level receiver going up there. But still, those types of plays do result in interceptions more frequently. But here's why I like it. I think it's way easier to try to reel a quarterback in than it is to try to get a quarterback to be more aggressive. I would take the guy who's more willing to make a throw over a guy who's going to be more cautious. Same reason why I would take Kyler Murray and Dwayne Haskins over Daniel Jones, because I think Daniel Jones is a bit too cautious for my take. And also, it should be mentioned that that was just a great throw where a receiver was able to make a play. So really just a good play by Kyler Murray, and that's the reason why I would draft Kyler Murray in my opinion. Kyler Murray definitely does play like a pro, and I'll show you what I mean with this next play. It's going to be a cover 4 zone, but Florida Atlantic actually has an extra man in coverage, so this now means that there's going to be 4 players deep and 4 players in the midfield. And that's actually going to be great news for Oklahoma, because they're actually having a design rollout on this play. They're going to have those 2 players both go out the block to the top half of the screen, and Murray will simply run up to the top half of the screen as well to try to give himself as much time as possible. And since there's an extra man in coverage, this now means that Murray is going to have all day to throw. I mean, look at that. There's absolutely nobody around him. I mean, he could put the ball down, do 15 push-ups, and then get up and still have time to make a throw. He has all day. So now that Murray has all day to throw, he can simply just wait until a receiver gets open, and a receiver is actually going to get way open downfield. So Murray takes the time he needs, makes a deep throw down the field, and it ends up being a perfect throw for a touchdown. I mean, that's one of the things you have to love about Kyler Murray is his deep ball accuracy. I mean, he's just so accurate on his deep throws, and that's not easy to do at all. So those were a couple of great throws, but as we all know, it's not just throwing that Kyler Murray is great at. He's a great runner as well. And while I personally don't think that that matters too much, I would 10 times out of 10 take a better thrower than a guy who can scramble more, but it doesn't matter. I mean, look at Mitchell Trubisky. He's not the best thrower, but he can still be effective because of his running ability. Guys like Patrick Mahomes and Deshaun Watson are already just great throwers, but when you add on to the fact that they're great runners, that's what turns them into some of the best players in the league. Having a quarterback who can run in the NFL isn't as important as having a quarterback who can run in college, but it still is important and can still be helpful. Like on this play, what Oklahoma was going to do is have 2 1-1 matchups right there on the edge, and then have a double team on the interior alignment right over there. And also notice this formation, as they have 3 people in the backfield at this point, so this could end up being a running play. That's what Oklahoma was going to try to sell, but they're actually going to send one of the backs out there to block right over there, and then they're going to pull 2 players over to the top half of the screen. And also worth mentioning, there's going to be 1 UCLA player dropping back into coverage because this is zone coverage, meaning really there's only 1 player to worry about here. It's that player right there, and as he crashes in, this is where the play really happens. Because it's not just a straight up run, it's actually going to be an option play on this one. Basically, it's pretty simple. If that UCL player runs in that direction to make sure there's not going to be a quarterback run, then Kyler Murray should just hand the ball off and let it be a run to the top half of the screen. Because now you're basically giving yourself an extra blocker, and that gives you an advantage, so who cares, take the advantage and take the run to the top half of the screen. Especially on a first down and goal play, if you can just pick up 5 yards, it really opens up the playbook for you to do whatever you want on second down. However, if he crashes in to try to stop the halfback, then what Kyler Murray is supposed to do is keep the ball himself and run through the bottom half of the screen. There's no blockers in that area, but there's also going to be no UCLA players in that area, so that's why he would keep it himself if the guy does run up to the top half of the screen. So watch what happens and take a look at Kyler Murray, and really what I want you to see is how quickly he's going to realize what's going on and make a decision. He sees that player is going after the halfback, so he keeps the ball himself and runs to the bottom half of the screen. Kyler Murray did exactly what he was supposed to do. If he did hand that ball off, it was going to be a loss of several yards, so it was definitely the right decision to keep it on that one. Although, of course, the problem is, it seems like UCLA was ready for this type of play. Because they are in zone, this now means that linebackers are in the area and could easily make a tackle. Specifically, that one linebacker right there, he's in great position to try to make a tackle on this one. And I tell you what, if he's going up against most quarterbacks, he's easily making a tackle, probably at the line of scrimmage for no gain. But Murray running the ball is definitely not on par with most quarterbacks, as you're going to see with this one. He just completely runs by that linebacker and doesn't even end up getting touched on that one. I definitely do think that Murray's ability to run the ball is a huge reason why he went first overall. Like on this play, for example, it's going to be a cover 4 zone, but that's actually a decent time to run the ball. While it is zone coverage, and the best time to run the ball will be on man coverage, there is only going to be 3 people guarding the midfield, so that's why it can still be an okay time to run the ball if you're a quarterback. Although it's definitely one of those where you have to wait for it. You can't just run the ball the second you see that it's cover 4. And Murray's not going to do that. First, what he's going to do is look up and try to make a throw downfield. That is his first option on this play. And that's one of the things I do like about Murray when I was watching tape about him, is the fact that he definitely keeps his head upfield. While I did see a couple of moments of him looking to run, for the most part, he does look to pass first. I often feel as though looking to run can be a crutch that can easily get wiped up if you're playing a good defense, which is why I don't love that if you're going to be a quarterback playing in the NFL. But I really don't feel like Murray uses it as a crutch, and a few times he does look to run, it's usually because he sees something in the defense that makes him look to run to begin with. And at this point, he's definitely not looking to run, but he is keeping that option open. Because as of right now, because the Army edge rusher did rush to the outside to try to get around a tackle, and because the interior lineman actually ran to the inside, this now leaves a wide open gap in between them. And since Murray doesn't see anything too open downfield, he's going to just simply run down there and try to pick up a few yards. It was a smart play from Murray, and now what should Murray do? Well, he should just simply run up to the top half of the screen, get out of bounds, and say, hey, good play, you picked up a few yards when there wasn't a lot to gain on that one. Who knows, maybe he'll even get to the first down marker. Probably not, he'll probably just pick up like 5 or 6 yards, but still, good play by Kyler Murray. Except he's not exactly going to run out of bounds right when he gets to the top half of the screen. He ends up cutting back downfield, and because of that insane acceleration, I mean, just look at that, he's able to just run by everyone. That's just not fair if you're the Army. I mean, they should recruit Kyler Murray to the real Army with that kind of running. I mean, that's just impressive. I mean, that's Forrest Gump level running right there. I mean, really just remarkable by Kyler Murray. I mean, he's just an insane athlete. This next one's another very interesting one, where Baylor's going to have 3 men rush the passer, and they're not even going to try to fool Oklahoma on this one. I mean, there's just 3 men on the line, and unless a linebacker is going to come in and blitz, that seems like it's what's going to be. And that's not what's going to happen, as it's actually going to be cover 3 zone here. So what Oklahoma's going to be doing here is they're actually going to have a play action where they have the halfback cutting back to the bottom half of the screen, but then it'll be a play action to the top half of the screen. And then they're going to have the left tackle, guard, and center all have one-on-one matchups with those 3 players right over there, and they're going to pull the right guard and tackle over to try to block in the bottom half of the screen. But this play isn't going to go over too smoothly. I mean, this is definitely going to be a high snap by that center. And this is now when many would make a short joke, but I'm not going to do that. I swear I'm not going to do it. Mostly because I can't think of one, but regardless. This was actually a designed run to the bottom half of the screen, but because of that kind of hiccup, it's not going to complicate things. But despite that, Murray is still able to accelerate so quickly, he's able to run for a huge gain on this one. And it's not just acceleration, it's his ability to turn his body while accelerating. He did eventually step out, so it wasn't a touchdown, but it nearly was. And considering the fact that that play didn't work out as planned, that's really impressive by Kyler Murray. But I mean, really, it is truly impressive how he's able to change his direction while keeping at top speed. I mean, this is like Tyreek Hill or Cordero Patterson levels. I mean, he's just so good at that. So that's his running ability, although his running ability has been a bit beat to death. So let's get back to his passing ability. And while one of the reasons why I love Dwayne Haskins, why I would pick him first overall, was because I think he's just incredible at reading defenses, Murray can read defenses as well. Like on this one, it's man coverage with a linebacker covering the middle of the field, and those will be the routes that Oklahoma's receivers will be running. So really that one route right there could be a great route to run, however it's going to take a little bit of patience. Murray is going to have to wait for that receiver to get open, and he's also going to have to make sure that linebacker doesn't go back to try to block up that lane. Because now, as you see, once this play is going to start to develop, the receiver now is a little bit open, and that little bit is going to get a lot more because he is cutting to the top half of the screen and going to be cutting in, which means that he could gain some more separation. So what do you do if you're a quarterback and you're in this situation? Don't panic and don't wait too long. You have a guy open, so hit him. The more time you wait, the more time it gives a defensive player to try to get in the way, so don't wait. Just make the throw when you can see a throw that could be open. Not to mention, right now, the linebacker who is in zone could absolutely take a few steps back if he sees what's going on, so Murray's going to have to make this throw in a hurry. He's going to make that throw, and also notice how he makes that throw on a line. It's, again, a great decision on that one. If he were to get some air onto it, then the linebacker could step up and try to knock it away, or the defensive back who's in charge of covering that receiver could move up and try to get in the way. But Murray does a lot of things well in that play. He reads the play quickly, he makes exactly the kind of throw you'd have to make, and he hits it very accurately where only the receiver could make the catch. He did everything right on that play. Murray's the kind of guy who does a lot of things right, and he literally did every single thing right on that play. I don't have a single knock I could give him on that one. One of the things I like about Kyler Murray is his red zone passing. That guy definitely knows where to throw the ball and how hard to throw the ball when he's close to the end zone. This play will be a very good example. It's man coverage, as you see once again, that receiver on the top half of the screen is basically on an island with the corner he's going up against, and it's going to be a fade route. So this should be a very low risk play. Only two things should happen here. Either it should be a touchdown or it should be incomplete. That has to be Kyler Murray's mindset. No matter what, at the end of the first quarter, Oklahoma is going to be up on Army. That's the mindset you just have to have if you're Oklahoma. But look at this pass. I mean, this is just exactly where you want it to go. One thing, look at how much air is under that one. Unlike that last play where Murray had to get it out in a hurry, really he could lob it as much as he wanted to, and that was a great decision for him. He lobbed it up, which gave that receiver plenty of time to get into that direction, and it was also just an exactly perfect throw. I mean, you can't throw a better throw than that one, and that's why it resulted in a touchdown. And also, again, there's no way that one would have been picked. Either that was going to be a touchdown or it was going to be incomplete. So exactly what you want to do if you're Kyler Murray. He loves to take shots deep, and he's also smart about taking shots deep. He's not just doing it willy-nilly. Like on this play, it's going to be a cover one hole, and they do have a receiver running a go route right there on the top half of the screen. So Murray's going to take a couple steps back and simply just wait. I mean, look at how long he waits before making that throw. One thing I don't love is that he did stare that receiver down, and so you would think if he were to be going up against a great safety, that safety might have been able to read his eyes and be able to break up and try to make a play. But that's definitely a nitpick, and one thing I love about this throw is just the throw itself. I mean, as of right now, there's almost no separation, but he's giving his receiver a chance to make a play. It's a great throw and a great catch, and it resulted in an Oklahoma touchdown. One last play I want to talk about, if you take a look, it's going to be a cover 3 zone, and once again, it's just a 3-man rush, and what Oklahoma is going to do is send a receiver right there to run an out route on the top half of the screen, and then have another receiver run a deep route to the inside of the screen right over there. This actually isn't a typical cover 3 zone, it's actually probably similar to a Tampa 2, because look at that player right there. He's covering up that middle of the screen, and I actually do think he should be a lot deeper. I don't think it's actually designed to be a Tampa 2 type play, I think he is supposed to be deep. But anyways, because he's right there, and the other safety is moving up to make sure he covers that Oklahoma player right over there, this now means that another receiver can simply break there, and he's going to be wide open. So again, what does Murray do is he doesn't hesitate. He gets it to that receiver instantly. He's not going to put any air under it, he's not going to give any defensive player a chance to go back, he's simply hitting that receiver the second he's open. It's a smart play to show a lack of hesitation, and plays like that are really why Kyler Murray did end up getting drafted first overall. I do think it should be mentioned that while I wouldn't have picked him first overall, I think he probably is an improvement from Josh Rosen. So while I might not be as high on him as other people, the fact of the matter is, if your naysayers are still saying you're going to be an awesome player, then things are probably going to work out pretty well for you.